back, guys, to the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. We continue in our coverage of this past weekend's wrestling excitement. We're talking today about AEW Collision. We had a lot of big stuff on a Collision. It was one of the biggest collisions in the very short history of the show. This was featuring the finals of the Owen Hart Cup tournament for both the men and the women's side, plus a 2 out of 3 falls match for the AEW World Tag Team Champions, which started off the show Jay White and Juice Robinson, Bullet Club Gold, taking on FTR, the reigning champions. And this match went about almost a full hour of actual match time. And this reminded me of some of the old days. I remember the first time I ever saw something like this was the Midnight Express and the Fantastics. It was like an entire episode of NWA Worldwide Wrestling was just that one match. Remember Lucha Underground did it with Pentagon one time. He wrestled the entire show against a bunch of people. But this 2 out of 3 falls match was tag team gold. If you thought the match they had last week, which a lot of people said was one of the best matches, especially TV tag team matches of the year, this one blew that out of the water. This 2 out of 3 falls match is absolutely a match of the year contender. I don't know how it can't be unless you didn't see it. FTR, Juice Robinson, Jay White, their chemistry with these four men is absolutely off the chart. So many fantastic spots in this match, so much great psychology as to the way that Bullet Club Gold was kind of trying to do as much as they could to break down the machine that is FTR, and FTR spent a lot of the match trying to get that machine running. Juice and Jay, they got the first fall with a Blade Runner, able to go up 1-0, tried a lot of different tricks. There were a lot of different count-out fake-outs during this match. FTR was able to get the big rig on Juice to match it up one fall a piece. And then the third and final fall went down, and man, the false finishes were coming fast and furious in this one. But eventually it was Jay White teasing sweet chin music and then going and actually putting on a sharpshooter to enrage the crowd. And then it was, I think it was Dax at the end, putting on the sharpshooter on Juice, Juice tapping out. Dax selling his leg injury, pulling his knee pad down so he could get more leverage to do the hold. I thought this was absolutely fantastic. Again, like I said, match of the year contender, absolutely. If you haven't seen it, I would go out of my way to go find this match wherever you can. After the match, FTR held out their hands, but Juice and Jay, being Bullet Club, they didn't want to shake nobody's hand. They spit at FTR and then left the ring. The night continued on with a couple more matches. Willow Nightingale and Ruby Soho met in the women's finals of the Owen Hart tournament. It was Willow Nightingale, which I was surprised at because I thought they would give it to Ruby this year, since Ruby was the runner-up last year in the tournament. But Willow Nightingale, who's had a bang-out year, she's going to be a breakout star of the year on that list come at the end of the year, if she's not already on your list. She's had a fantastic year. Her stock has been rising. She's becoming a bigger star every time people see her. And they got to give her a good feud, a good storyline feud. There's several things that you can do with her to get a good emotional storyline because of the way her character is. But I'm looking forward to more stuff in the future from Willow Nightingale. And congratulations to her for winning the tournament. The House of Black, two members, the kings of the something other throne or whatever it is, Malachi Black and the big dog, the death metal political activist, that is Brody King. They teamed up, take on two local guys. It was basically a squash match. Andrade El Idolo comes to the ring. I don't know why Riccaboni and Kevin Kelly cannot say his name. Andrade El Idolo came to the ring. He still wants his mask. Julia Hart still got his mask. Malachi's still baiting him with it. But we're going to see that take place and where that's going to go. But then we get into the main event. It is the finals of the men's Owen Hart tournament. Ricky Starks in the biggest match of his career by far, taking on CM Punk in the main event. Punk getting a mix of boos and cheers from the Canadian crowd, which was a very good crowd for this edition of Collision, by the way. I think it was not quite a sellout. It was almost a sellout. A lot of people there. It was really cool to see, especially after how dark Dynamite was, because there's so few people at Dynamite on Wednesday. It's cool to see Collision doing well as far as fans in attendance. But this match was a lot of fun. I will say CM Punk, ironically enough, has become the John Cena of AEW. Half the fans love him, half the fans hate him. And it's odd that the Elite don't get that. Now, maybe when the Elite go to Chicago, definitely they're going to get a bad reaction. But I'm curious to see, as both of these entities go around the country and go to other areas that are not Canada and not Chicago, how are the rest of the AEW fan base going to react to the Elite? How are they going to react to CM Punk? Is it going to be the split crowd? Is he going to, some of them going to be more popular in some areas than others? We don't know. This match, they really milked the crowd on this match. Very good. If you need to know how to work a crowd, these guys know how to do it, especially CM Punk. He's very good at doing that. The end of the match was very weird. They started trading a lot of counters. Pretty good. One of the better wrestling matches, pure wrestling matches I've seen CM Punk have since he came back to AEW, period. But Ricky Starks getting the win and cheating by intentionally grabbing the ropes and holding it down to get the 1, 2, 3 on CM Punk. They were a little chippy with each other during the match at points. But what we thought might be a heel turn, and we didn't know if this was going to tie in with Bullet Club Gold, it was going to tie in with MJF. It didn't tie into any of that. It just was Ricky Starks, which I think was the good decision. Don't tie Ricky Starks to anybody right now. Let him kind of get there on his own. And if he joins up with MJF or joins up with Bullet Club Gold down the line, cool. But seeing Ricky Starks win this on his own and cheating to do it and kind of even blowing off Jushin Thunder Liger, who they had try to present the trophy to him, Starks just grabbed the trophy and walked off. Yeah, we're looking at the beginning of the return, a heel turn for Ricky Starks. So he will be going back to being heel, apparently. I don't know how that really played with the crowd, too, because CM Punk was clearly, I think it was a 60-40 split to people being against CM Punk in his crowd. But Punk just had this exacerbated look on his face, and that's how the show closed out. Now, this did go on into Battle of the Belts, which aired immediately after this, which they continued with the live show. Had some great matches on there. Orange Cassidy managed to retain his international championship against Lance Archer. Luchasaurus and Christian Cage were able to keep Luchasaurus' title, that Christian acts like is his title, from Shawn Spears. Tyra Valkyrie was unable to wrest the women's championship away from Toni Storm. That match, by the way, got cut off. Well, when I was watching it, the match cut off halfway through. Apparently, it was a satellite issue. Then they came back from commercial and played like a started playing Julia Hart's match from last week's Collision, which is kind of weird. And then afterwards, we get notified that, yeah, you're gonna see that match. It's gonna be on other platforms. You can probably see it on YouTube, but Toni Storm retained the title. I think that's all that really mattered coming out of that. But overall, I think Battle of the Belts and Collision were great shows. Collision far better than Battle of the Belts, and it's so weird that it's the same arena, the same setup basically, but the Battle of the Belts show felt way different than the Collision show, even in that little short range. Collision reportedly Punk and Danielson and some of these other characters in that vein of the wrestling world are booking the show somewhat, or kind of organizing the show, which they're going to have to, because Tony Khan runs a football league, and he runs multiple football leagues, American and World Football League. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to have games on Saturdays every once in a while, or someplace where he's going to have to be there on a Sunday. So a Saturday show, it's going to be kind of rough for Tony Khan being an owner of an NFL team. And what I've seen so far, whoever is booking Collision is doing a bang-up job. I'm enjoying so much what they're doing on there. It's very concise. It makes a lot of sense. The wrestling is solid. I definitely enjoy this show, and I definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you going out of your way to see Collision. But now, coming out of this, the big question, what's going on with Ricky Starks? What's going to happen with CM Punk? And now, where is Bullet Club Gold going to go? Things going to get meshed up a little bit, but we are now officially, I believe, after this coming Wednesday, with the Blood and Guts match, which was heavily promoted on Collision and Battle of the Belts. I think after that, we are then full on into the promotion for the All Out show at Wembley Stadium. They're going to have to start putting those feuds together and those matches together. We still, of course, got the finals coming up too of the Eliminator Tag Team Tournament with MJF and Adam Cole, Bay taking on Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia. So, well, a lot of things moving very rapidly right now in AEW, but I want to know what you guys thought about Collision. What did you think about Battle of the Belts? Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. Is Ricky Starks going heel, or did he just do what he needed to do to win? Let me know what you think. Until next time, I will see you guys here for more news, rumors, and commentary on the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.